Are you curious to how much it costs to sell your home? I'm April and this is Raul, and today we're going to break down some of the costs associated with selling a home. Realizing the equity that you have in your home can be exciting, but it's important to remember that there are costs associated with selling your home. So, what are some of those costs, and help us break it down a little bit?
Yeah, so I mean, when you look at the cost to sell a home, there's a lot of things that are in play. Here in Texas, especially here in San Antonio, the normal fee structure would be 3% goes to the buyer's agent and 3% is earned by the selling agent, right? So if we're selling your house, we would earn 3%, if you will. But that also is just a little bit of what is all included. There's probably another 1.5 to 2% of closing cost fees, from title policy to any kind of repairs, to the survey. If you have your survey, that could be $450. So if you have your survey, put it away in your safe so you can save it later. And then you got all kinds of other things, your taxes and all kinds of other things that go into play, escrow fees, little things that people don't really pay attention to. And most listing agents will go in and say, hey, all you got to do is worry about the 6% commission, and totally blank the customer out with the idea that, there's no additional fees. So what we like to do is just kind of throw it all out there, give a full net sheet, break it down from the littlest things, from courier fees all the way down to, your taxes and your HOA dues, or not dues, but fees for the covenants and bylaws to be transferred to the new buyers.
Right. It's always better to overestimate.
Oh, absolutely. I'd rather
always
under
get money
promise
back.
and over deliver,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. So there's often confusion about the 6% commission fee. Can you break down exactly what is included and what it goes toward?
Yeah, so the 3% for the buyer side is what we're going to pay as the broker to the buyer that brings the person that's going to purchase our home. I think that's a non-negotiable. If we don't give that 3%, we're not going to have anyone come look at our home. As far as what the seller agent receives as their commission, that 3% is broken down over a lot of things. Number one, we're going to market the house. We're going to evaluate the house. In our company, we go ahead and get the house staged, professional photography. We get Matterports, or we get some drone footages of the home. Ultimately, what we're trying to do is separate our client's home from everybody else that's our competition, because I know that as a fiduciary, I have to do what's best for my clients. And if I can get my clients in a better position to succeed, not only will we make more money, but we'll sell it in a quicker period of time. And I think when we have hard-earned equity, we got to make sure we maximize that. But it's also going to go in the MLS. It's going to get syndicated to all the other third-party sites. So your listing will be blasted all over the country, and we'll be fishing and doing social media blasts and all these kind of different ad campaigns that we do just to separate our listing from everybody else's.
Makes sense. So, in other words, real estate agents really do a lot behind the scenes in order to. That's what a lot of people don't understand, is that there's a lot going on.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, let's just, call it for what it is. Sometimes they say, oh, you get a contract, that's all you do. Once we get the contract, so there's getting the buyer to come to the table and say, I want to put in an offer. That's kind of when the game starts, because now we're going to do all the behind the scenes. We're going to negotiate during the option period, which is a due diligence period where they're going to have an inspector. We're going to go back and forth. There's 20 things on the list. We want 10. We look at it and maybe only 5 of them are viable. So we're going to push back. We're either going to get them repaired, or we're going to get, in lieu of cash or some type of concessions. But then we're also going to look at different things. I mean, there's surveys that got to get taken care of. There's appraisals that got to get taken care of. There's coordination, and then there's the back and forth. It's talking to the lenders, talking back and forth to make sure that they have enough to kind of get from title, make sure there's no liens, talk to the title company to make sure everything's been, fully vetted and make sure everything's clear. But there's so much that happens behind the scenes, and sometimes at face value they think, oh wait, this is too much. It's really pennies if you consider all the time and hours that go into each transaction.
For sure. What are some of the closing costs that are associated that a seller has to pay?
Yeah, so some of the closing costs, I mean, right off the top, you're looking at, when we're at title company, you're looking at attorney fees. They don't represent us in any capacity. All they're going to do is create the buyer and seller documents. We have some courier fees, maybe $25 there. We have some other fees that pop up, like if you have your survey, you need your $450 for your survey. And then I also kind of put some negotiables in there, because I believe that after, we do a lot of volume, and year after year I see the same kind of trends. I mean, they're going to get an inspector in there, so we're going to have repairs. So I always budget at least $500 for repairs. But before I get into the house, I kind of do an evaluation and make sure that it's clean, and I check all the big ticket items. So we got that, and then we have the possibility for a home warranty. So 98% of buyers on the pre-existing market ask for a home warranty, especially in the market we're in now. They want to make sure that when they walk into the house, the appliances aren't going to go out on them, the AC is not going to go out on them, the water heater or any of the big ticket items are going to go out on them. So that's one of the things that we see as well. And then we have an average in San Antonio that's about $2,200 of seller concessions. What that means is the seller concessions are helping, the seller is helping the buyer either with closing costs or with some sort of rate buy down, especially now. So that average is kind of something I put into the formula already. Then you got your taxes, you got your certified tax certification saying that this is how much we owe for taxes we sell on this particular day. And we have all those fees to budget up, and we kind of look at when it starts from the initial 6%, we're probably adding about another 2 points on it by the time it's all said and done. So about 8% is kind of what the seller should expect when it's time to close.
What exactly are seller concessions?
Seller concessions could be a lot of things. It could be just the fact that the buyer comes in and says, I really love this house. And some agents do a great job and say, hey, if you get 3.5% down, you can buy anything you want. But they forget to tell them, like, wait, there's closing costs associated with your loan, with your lender, and all those other origination costs. So they might get to a brick wall and say, well, we have the 3.5%, but we don't have the $6,000 to put down for closing costs. So sometimes they ask the seller to say, hey, we'll give you, say, $200,000 is the list price, and they say we'll give you 206, but we need $6,000 back. That would be a form of a seller concession where we can give them $6,000 in concessions, or it could be in lieu of repairs. Sometimes people just say, I don't want to do the repairs. If it's $3,000, I'd rather just give them the money. That way we don't have to, get our hands dirty or call anybody. We don't have time. There's kids at the house, and we just can't make things work. So sometimes it could be in lieu of closing costs. It could be in lieu of repairs. It could be in lieu of professional cleaning at the end of the day. Whatever it is, it's just kind of what's blended together to make it a easier way for the seller to get out of the house.
As real estate professionals, we work hard for you and want to be transparent about all of the services that we provide, just so there's no surprises at the closing table. I'm April, and this is Raul, and if you have any questions, please feel free to give us a call.
It's been a pleasure. Y'all have a blessed day, and we'll talk to you soon.